Actions are a series of commands that can be repeated with the click of a button. Right? So, for example, if I open an image, let's look at the actions that are already installed with Photoshop and then create our own actions. So here we have this image. If I go to Window, I can choose Actions from here. It's already there. And I'm going to expand this a little bit so that we see what we have. Here I have a folder that I created before. Let's close it for now and open the default actions that do get installed with Photoshop. And look at the layers. Here we have the image in the background. If I click on sepia toning, for example, it will convert the image into an old image without having to do anything yourself. So that's what sepia toning is. If I select it and click on play, a series of actions will be performed until I have this. Right? Now, did I lose my original image? No, I didn't, because if I hide these two layers that were created for me, I would get back to my original. But now, again, I have the sepia toned image. Now here I have an adjustment layer, meaning that if I double click, I have a non-destructive hue saturation layer. Which means what? Which means that you can change the hue and you can turn it off. Before, when you added hue saturation, for example, we could not turn it off. It was there. But now it's added as a layer, which I'll see in a second. This is called an adjustment layer. But now, what I wanted to show you is that the action performed these steps. If I open it, I have the different things that happened throughout the sepia toning action. I'm going to remove the new layers and try another action. Let's say quadrant colors. If I hit play on quadrant colors, it will create 4 quadrants in my image, each one having a separate color. It's not very visible on your screen. Sorry? It's called quadrant colors. So it divides the image into 4 colors, each one having a different color. And it's a layer, which means that you can remove it if you like, or if you didn't want to have it. So I'll remove this. If you want to see what's happening, the quadrant color is doing these operations. Let's see. If I click on Vignette, here it says selection. It means that I need to have a selection. So if I try to run it, it will not work properly because I don't have a selection. So I'll stop. And now I will make a selection and then reapply the vignette. So let's make a selection like this. So now that we have a selection, I'll select vignette and hit play. This is the feather radius, how soft it should be. Let's press OK. And then automatically it creates this effect. You know how this effect is created without using the action, but this is ready-made for you. So delete. Woodframe, it creates a frame around the image. So if I hit play, it would create a wooden frame around the image. A wooden frame. Frame, you know what a frame is, around the image. Cadre. Alright, so if I hid the layers, I would just see the frame from here. Okay, so these are some of the actions. Now we have many actions. If I create a text and hit the other layer. Now, if I click on this arrow here, if I click on this arrow here, I have text effects for my actions. So I'm gonna click on it, and here I get a folder called text effects because I got it from here. So if I open text effects, I have some things. For example, if I want to create a chrome effect, I would select and click play. It needs to be rasterized, but it's alright. The chrome effect was added here on this layer. So this one didn't work very well. It doesn't really matter. Let's say frosted glass. See what it gives. It should probably work on the text layer now. Okay, I'll stop. It needs to have a photo layer, so I'll just select the background to start with. So again, it's not very nice what it did, but you get the idea of what actions are. Yeah, I removed it. It happened on the small layer. Let's try another thing. Let's say water reflection. Okay, so this is giving me effect. It's not very nice still, but it's there. Yeah, this is rasterized now. Both are rasterized. So this is a bad thing. But you get the idea. Alright, so now what we need to do is create our own actions. So this is how you use the ready-made Photoshop actions. We want to create our own actions. So I'm going to remove or create a new folder. The first thing I will do is click here to create a new set. Normally I would call it by my name because that way I would know that I added these actions. I already have one called Sharbil, so I'll call it Sharbil1 and press OK. So that's the new set. It's empty so far. First we have to decide what kind of action we want to create. I'm gonna reopen an image. Let's say this image because I want to work on this one. So let's say that I want to create an effect of painted colors, like watercolors. So this is how I would create my action.